On behalf of Switch On Foundation, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all, Magic Millets Talk, Discover a Disease-Free Life at the premises of the Hindustan Club. I hope that today inspires ideas and discussion around the way that we can adapt to make our life better. With this, I would like to request Srimati Suchi Rongta from Hindustan Club to please come up on stage and give the welcome address.
The importance of food in our lifestyle, the role of food with diseases that connect, the role of millets in our lifestyle, that's the agenda for today's morning session. And it's great to see all of you on a Sunday morning taking that first step towards a healthy lifestyle. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. Khadar, who we also known as the Millet Man of India, who is the Krishi Ratna Awardee, and he will throw light and he will share an inspiring journey with us that how millets, the inclusion of millets can actually change our lives. So along with Dr. Khadar, I would request him to come on stage, and I would like to request Professor Ganga Reddy, who is the ex-professor, National Institute of Rural Development, and Dr. D.P. Singh, who is the MLA of Samastipur, Bihar, head of All India Panchayat Seminar, to come and join us on the stage. Welcome, sir. It's great, and we're really looking forward to the session.
Thank you, Suchi. Thank you, Srimati Suchi Rongta. Next, I would request co-founder of Switch On Foundation, Srimati Ekta Jaju, to share a welcome address.
Very good morning and namaste to everyone who has joined us today over here for the session on Magic Millets. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Hindustan Club for organizing the first session by Dr. Khadar in Kolkata. Dr. Khadar is nationally, internationally acclaimed, but sadly we've not had any sessions with him in Kolkata. And also I think this is the first time that we're taking a very big leap to introduce millets in Kolkata in such a large way and create awareness about it. So thank you so much Hindustan Club for coming forward and taking up this opportunity. Apart from that, thank you so much all of you, especially Dr. Reddy and our guests today, and all of you for spending this Sunday morning for your health. Like Suchi mentioned, it is something which is extremely critical, and I think now a lot of us are understanding the importance of it. So I'm glad to see such a large audience today. So millets, how do I introduce millets? The lost or the forgotten grains of India. If we look back 100 years, 200 years, 500 years back into our culture, into our history, into our cuisines, we will see across the country millets played a very important role. Apart from the cultural aspects of millet, there are multiple other reasons why we are promoting millets here today. So one of the very few grains that does not require any irrigation. Today I think we are all aware how our groundwaters are depleting, how our soils are depleting, and millet is one way of conserving all of that which is important to us. Millet is a grain which is by default organic. So it does not need farmers to put in expensive or unnecessary fertilizers in the soil, spoiling the soil, spoiling our health. So I was talking to Dr. Mali today and he was telling me how he just prefers to eat millets and very few other things because he knows what he is eating is chemical free. He's not leaving his body with chemicals when he is eating millets. So yes, I'm really looking forward to this inspirational session by Dr. Mali and learning about millets and how we can introduce it in our lives. Thank you so much. Hope you all enjoyed.
take Rajaju. I would now like to take this opportunity to felicitate our guest. I have with me my colleague who will be felicitated. So first, I would like to felicitate Professor Sridhar Reddy sir, ex-Professor, National Institute of Rural Development. Sir, if you could please come up. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would request Dr. Khadar sir. Thank you, sir. Next, Shri DP sir, All India Panchayat Sangathan and MLA of Samstipur, Bihar. Now I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our guests. Professor Sridhar Reddy, ex-professor, National Institute of Rural Development. Sir, I would like to call you up on stage and for your valuable inputs on the subject.
Good morning to all my brothers and sisters, respected the guests on the dais and distinguished participants of this particular event. I think Dr. Khadar program in Kolkata is a kind of a long, maybe 3 years onwards, our Vinay Jaju was trying to get him here and give an opportunity to all of you to interact with. So, since all of you have been waiting to see him, listen him and follow whatever he says so that we can all be healthy kind of thing. So, in between I will not take much time except only 2 things. I think this particular event reflects on the past. Why in the past? As we feel that all of us are having some kind of a health problem, if you start thinking why so, perhaps you need to think about the future. If you want to be healthy, what needs to be done is maybe listen to Dr. Khadar and then start following it so that not only you and I can be healthy, you can also visualize all our family members, all our neighbors, the entire nation, or maybe if possible, entire universe can be healthy. So, it is in this context where Dr. Khadar the kind of a research that he has done for long and realized the kind of an importance of millet based on his own studies in the lab and also conducting the field studies, experiencing with a lot of kind of patients who come with a different kind of problems, and now it is an established fact both scientifically and practically with all of us. Just a few minutes back when I was listening to some of the visitors who come and talk to sir, it's a kind of a great realization to all of us who are associated with this kind of a movement. At the outset, in fact, I am very, very happy that I am very fortunate to get myself associated with Dr. Khadar in this mission of achieving healthy nation or healthy globe. So, by start listening, by start adapting, what he speaks is very, very simple thing. There is nothing difficult kind of thing. As long as you don't take it, if you think that it is a simple, you start adapting. Once you start adapting, you yourself will experience, realize the need of it and importance of it. There are a lot of people talk so many things like if you want to be healthy, you do yoga. If you want to be healthy, you do organic. If you want to be healthy, you eat only fruits and vegetables, raw, things like that and all. But what I have seen is, with one particular thing of start eating the millet, you can be healthy. Your next generation, your children will be healthy. Not only that you and your family or the people can be healthy, you can also make the mother earth be healthy. Nowadays we keep talking about lot of things about the climate change, global warming. So one single action of start consuming the millet, I feel that you will be contributing to a greater extent, not only to the healthy society of this world, and also to the healthy mother earth. Once you start thinking and start eating millet, cultivating millet, you not only save the water, you not only purify enhance the richness of the soil, you will also indirectly impacting the climate change. That's what we now keep talking about. So I only request all of you to kindly listen to him seriously and start following it from tomorrow onwards or from today onwards. Within a matter of few days, you yourself will realize it's kind of a, whatever the magic that is being titled here. It is not a magic. What in fact we keep listening from of the doctors is like it's a miracle kind of thing. But what is that miracle? It's a simple kind of millet which maybe 100 years or 200 years back, which all our parents and grandparents were eating and they were healthy and living for more than 100 years with a proper kind of health. So with this brief, I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for in fact having me here and in fact helping in organizing this particular program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to call upon stage Shri D.P. Singh Ji from All India Panchayat Sangathan. He is the MLA of Samastipur, Bihar.
आप सभी लोगों को प्रणाम करता हूँ। ये भव्य आयोजन के लिए मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ श्री विनय जी का जिन्होंने इस प्रोग्राम का आयोजन किया, हम लोगों को एक दूसरे से मिलाने में सहयोग किया। मैं समझता हूँ इसमें बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने पुराने अनाज को देखा या पुराने लोगों को देखा। आज से 50 साल पहले, 60 साल पहले इतने डायबिटीज पेशेंट नहीं होते। अभी ज़्यादा लोग डायबिटीज क्यों होते? हार्ट ट्रबल इतना नहीं होता था, आज क्यों होता? ये सवाल जरूर हम लोगों के दिमाग में आता है और आना चाहिए, मगर उसका निदान हम नहीं ढूंढ पाते। मगर आज से 40 साल 50 साल पहले का भोजन छाजन पर अगर गौर करें, उसका सर्वे करें, तो आप पाएंगे कि लोग, हम लोग गांव में मट्ठा बोलते हैं, आप लोग क्या बोलते हैं? अभी छाछ बोलते हैं, राजस्थान में, पंजाब में छाछ बोलते हैं। तो बड़े बड़े छाछ का गिलास पंजाब में देते हैं पीने के लिए। गाँव में जब मैं जाता हूँ ऑल इंडिया पंचायती राज से रिलेटेड, तो मुझे इतना नहीं पी सकेंगे साहब। अरे इतना कैसे नहीं पी सकोगे, इतने तो मेरे बच्चे पीते हैं। वहाँ के लोग बोलते हैं, वहाँ की महिलाएं बोलती हैं। लेकिन इधर ये प्रचलन सब कम हो गया। कम क्या हो गया कि सुधा डेयरी बिहार में आ गया, कहीं डेयरी का ये आ गया, उसको प्रिजर्वेशन के लिए कुछ न कुछ उसमें केमिकल डालना पड़ता है। इस केमिकल से हम अवेयर नहीं होते हैं। पैकिंग उसका अच्छा होता है, इसलिए बच्चों के हैबिट में ये आ गया कि ये पैकिंग वाला चीज़ खाना। ये पैकिंग वाला चीज़ कितना फायदा करता है, कितना नुकसान करता है, इसका पता जब उनकी उम्र 40 साल हो जाएगी, 50 साल हो जाएगी, 60 साल हो जाएगी, तब पता लेकिन 14 साल में 12 साल में उनको ये आइडिया नहीं होता है, क्योंकि उनके अंदर उमंग होता है, जोश होता है और वो कुछ भी करने के लिए अपने को रेडी पाते हैं। लेकिन पुराने लोग अगर उनको कुछ मना करें तो उनकी बात नहीं सुन पाते हैं। ये हैबिट कैसे चेंज है? पहले फिजिकल मेहनत हम लोग करते थे, गाय पालन करते हैं, गांव के अंदर आदमी करते हैं, जो भी दूध शहर में आता है कहीं ना कहीं गाँव से आता है, खेती करते हैं, सब्जी जो आती है कहीं ना कहीं गाँव से आता है, उसमें मेहनत करते हैं। और आजकल डॉक्टर बोलते हैं कि भाई आप थोड़ा टहलिए, थोड़ा दौड़िए, तो सुबह में अधिकतर जगहों में लोग टहलते दौड़ते दिखाई पड़ते हैं। ये सब क्या है? यही जीवन शैली। मेरे एक एमपी हुआ करते थे, अभी नहीं है, 4 टाइम समस्तीपुर से जीते हैं, प्रोफेसर अजीत कुमार मेहता। अजीत कुमार मेहता जी अभी 95 ईयर हैं और वो बीआईटी मेसरा में प्रोफेसर रजिस्ट्रार थे और वो एमपी साहब को कोई बीमारी नहीं है अभी तक, ना ही डायबिटीज है, ना ही वो हार्ट ट्रबल है, ना अदर किसी प्रकार का ट्रबल है। घुटना में कभी चोट लग गई थी तो घुटना में दर्द कभी कभार होता है, इसके अलावा उनको कोई बीमारी नहीं है। मैं उनके साथ दिल्ली में रहता था, डॉक्टर वाई गांधी रेड्डी सर जानते हैं, मैं इनसे 1993 से जुड़ा, रेड्डी सर से मैं 1993 से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। ये बहुत सिंपल दिखते हैं लेकिन वहाँ हाई लेवल पर थे, वो डायरेक्टर थे NIRD में, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट, भारत सरकार का एपेक्स इंस्टीट्यूशन है और जो इंटरनेशनल रूरल डेवलपमेंट पर सोचता है और ट्रेनिंग देता है। और उसमें एक रूरल टेक्नोलॉजी पार्क है, उसके भी ये डायरेक्टर हुआ करते थे, अभी ये रिटायर हो गए। सर से जुड़ करके ये कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं। इनकी सिंप्लिसिटी शुरू से ही ऐसा था, डायरेक्टर थे तब भी और नहीं है तब भी एक ही जैसा है। प्रोफेसर मेहता साहब के साथ मैं बहुत दिनों तक था दिल्ली में। उनका हैबिट फूड का जो था वो बिल्कुल सिंपल। वो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर थे लेकिन ब्रश नहीं करते, वो टूथपेस्ट यूज नहीं करते थे, वो नीम या बबूल का दंतमंजन से सभी दिन मुँह धोते थे अभी भी। ये और उनका मानना था फूड का पाइप है, नल लगा हुआ था, लेकिन मैं सोचता था कि उसे कटवा देते हैं, लेबर लोग रहते थे, लेकिन वो बोलते थे नहीं, वो बाल्टी में मग लेके अपने से वो फूल पौधा पर उठाते। वो बोलते थे ऐसा करने से 2 फायदा होता है, पौधे को हम निकट से देख लेते हैं और दूसरा कि हमारा एक्सरसाइज हो जाता है। ये उनकी सोच है। मैं इसलिए ये बात कहा कि आम तौर पर हम लोग बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे काम भी दूसरों पर डिपेंडेंसी रहती है हमारी, और दूसरों से कराना चाहते हैं या खुद से नहीं करना चाहते हैं। तो ये जो फिजिकल मेहनत है और उसके लिए जो डाइट है और डाइट के अनुसार शरीर का बढ़ावा या असर पड़ता ही है। सिंपल हम उदाहरण देना चाहेंगे कि एक पटुआ होता है, बात नाम सुने होंगे, जूट जिससे बोलते जूट। तो ये पटुआ का जो खेती होती है देहात में, उसका खट्टापन होता है उसमें, उसके पत्ते में, और गाय या किसी दुधारू मवेशी को जब हम देते हैं तो बड़ा चाव से उसको खाता है। जिस दिन वो पटुआ खिलाया जाता है रात में, सुबह में दूध दुहा जाएगा, तो दूध जो है जल्दी अगर उसको गर्म नहीं करेंगे तो फट जाएगा, वो फट जाएगा और वो मतलब दूध सही नहीं रह पाएगा। लेकिन वही दूसरा चीज खिलाते हैं तो उतना जल्दी नहीं फटेगा। मतलब भोजन का असर शरीर पर होता है, आदमी पर भी, जीव जंतु पर भी, जानवर पर भी। आज से पहले का भोजन में ज्यादा गेहूं सभी जगहों में नहीं होते थे। लोग बाजरे की रोटी, ज्वार की रोटी ये खाते थे, और आज हम लोगों में ज्यादा प्रचलन गेहूं का, मैदा का, आटा का, ये सब चीज हो गए। इस पुराने अनाज को अपने व्यवहार में लाने के द्वारा हेल्थ की जो बात है, यही आज हमको बताया जाने वाला है। मैं समझता हूँ बहुत जानकारी होना जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन जो जानकारी है उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना जरूरी है, और वही हम लोग नहीं कर पाते। जानकारी बहुत रखते हैं इंटरनेट वगैरह से, लेकिन वो अपने में यूज करना है तो नहीं करते हैं। ठीक वैसा ही जैसे सत्य बोलना सही है, लेकिन सत्य बोलने का परसेंटेज हम लोगों में कम हो जाता है। अधिकतर लोग मैंने और किसी से झूठ बोले चाहे नहीं बोले, ऑफिस में अगर काम करते थे पत्नी को जरूर झूठ बता देते, आ रहे हैं थोड़ी देर में आ रहे हैं, ये अभी ऑफिस में एंगेज है, वो दोस्तों के बीच भी रहेंगे तो यही कर देंगे। तो ये हैबिट में शामिल हो गया। तो वही फूड हैबिट को हमको चेंज करने की जरूरत है, स्वस्थ जीवन के लिए, स्वस्थ दिमाग के लिए और स्वस्थ शरीर के लिए। और ये अगर हम करते हैं तो हमारे स्वास्थ्य की चिंता अगर इन्हें हो रही है तो हमें अपने स्वास्थ्य की चिंता क्यों नहीं करनी चाहिए। देवानंद साहब का नाम सभी लोग जानते हैं, सभी लोग सुने हैं, सभी लोगों ने फिल्में देखी हो। देवानंद साहब का फिल्मी जीवन का जब 50 साल पूरा हुआ, उन दिनों में दिल्ली विचार मंच का सदस्य हुआ करता था और दिल्ली विचार मंच ने देवानंद साहब को फिल्मी जीवन के 50 साल पूरा होने पर मावलंकर हॉल दिल्ली में आमंत्रित किया था, जिसमें मैं भी था। देवानंद साहब मंच ऐसा ही था, बड़ा मंच है, वो मंच पर बहुत तेजी से, थोड़ा विलम्ब हो गए थे वो आने में, इसलिए तेजी से मंच पर आए, वैसे ही जैसे फिल्मों में आते थे। उस दिन मदन लाल खुराना साहब वहाँ के चीफ मिनिस्टर हुआ करते थे, वो और उनकी पत्नी वहाँ मौजूद थी। खुराना साहब ने पूछा कि देवानंद साहब हमें एक बात की जानकारी आपसे चाहिए। तो बोले क्या? वहाँ की जब मैं विद्यार्थी था, फिल्में देखता था, तब भी आप ऐसे ही दिखते थे, आज भी आप ऐसे ही दिखते हैं, ये आपके सदाबहार जवानी का राज क्या? तो देवानंद मुस्कुराए और उन्होंने कहा कि खुराना साहब आप चीफ मिनिस्टर भी हो, आपकी मैडम भी यहाँ मौजूद हैं, मेरे राज को आप खुलवाना चाहते हो, मैं नहीं बोलूं तो आप बोलोगे कि घमंडी है देवानंद, अगर बोलूं तो मेरा राज खुल जाता है, लेकिन इतने लोगों के बीच पूछ दिए हो आप, इसलिए मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि देवानंद शराबी का रोल किया, शराबी फिल्म बनाया, बहुत सारे फिल्मों में शराबी बना, लेकिन शराब को कभी मुंह से नहीं लगाया, वो है देवानंद। उन्होंने कहा, मैंने बोला। दूसरा कि देवानंद वेजिटेरियन है और प्योर वेजिटेरियन ये। और तीसरा कि एक फिल्म आप लोगों ने जरूर देखी होगी, हम दोनों, अगर हम दोनों नहीं देखी होगी तो उसका गाना जरूर सुना होगा, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया, जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो बिछुड़ गया उसको भुलाता चला गया। देवानंद के सदाबहार जीवन का असली राज ये है, ये देवानंद साहब के रूबरू हम लोगों को बता। तो मैं आपसे इसलिए शेयर कर रहा हूँ, ये तीन चीज वास्तव में जरूरी है और ये हैबिट अगर हम सेट करते हैं तो हमारी जिंदगी बदलते हुए हम स्वयं देख सकेंगे, अनुभव कर सकेंगे। और ये अनुभूति स्वयं में करना है, ठीक उसी तरीके जैसे मिठाई खाए बिना मिठास का ज्ञान नहीं होगा, अनुभव नहीं होगा, उसी तरीके से इसको ये करना है। मैं समझता हूँ कि इनके बीच और आपके बीच ज़्यादा समय गैप न हो, इसलिए मैं अपनी बात को आपको प्रणाम करते हुए समाप्त करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री डीपी सिंह जी। It is my absolute honor and privilege to invite Dr. Khadar to share his valuable talk for which we have gathered. With a loud round of applause, please welcome Sir for his talk for which we are being eagerly waiting. Dr. Khadar sir, I would also want to sincerely apologize for an error made. The bouquet was organized for yourself. It was a slip from my hand. I apologize.
मिठास का बात हुआ, मिठास से भी शुरू करेंगे। सुंदरबंस, ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी, all the fellows who came here are jealous of Bengalis, where you made the best sweet in the world. There was no sugar at the time. What was there was silver date palm. Sundarbans, thousands and thousands and thousands of trees, God-given trees. No one to spare a single drop of water. No problem. Environmentally very sound, and the sweets you made everyone jealous. हमारा साउथ में भी ऐसा कुछ बहुत जगह थे. We made sweet. फर्क इतना था, हम ज़्यादा नहीं खाते थे और बहुत ज़्यादा खाते थे बस. आज भी, even now you people eat lot of sweets, but sadly you are eating sugar cane. फर्क इतना है इसमें और शुगर के. The blood receives glucose directly when you eat sugar. The sugar cane, sugar, because the glucose percentage is almost 50 to 60%. So when you eat 5 grams of sugar or 3 cup of coffee, you are loading your blood with glucose 3 to 4 grams. So in a day, if you drink 3 to 4 coffees or chai, we are loading with 15 grams of glucose. And the herbal, we have to have only 5 grams of glucose in our body, the whole blood stream. If it increases more than that, the living cells, other living cells start giving away water to the blood. Because the sugar, nature is to attract water. Up, good though, yeah, sugar you put it here, it will absorb. But nowadays, they are desiccating the sugar. So free-flowing sugar, free-flowing salt. And we have not asked question, why is sugar free-flowing? Why is it not attracting water? So कुछ काम ये लोग किया है कि it is not attracting water. It become hydrophobic. That means they have used some desiccant. It is called desiccant. That means it doesn't attract water. There are various kinds of desiccants. There are some polymer desiccants, there are aluminum desiccants. Whatever desiccant it is throwing away the water. It doesn't want the water. ये तो बहुत बुरा बात है. For any living cells on this planet, whether it is plant or animal or human, if something enters your body and that doesn't want water, is something bad. That chemical should not be even smelled by you. But look at us. We are synthesizing, manufacturing tons and tons of this free-flowing salt and free-flowing sugar. And without asking a single question, the so-called biochemists, the so-called scientists, the so-called professors, the so-called Buddhajivis, you are all very enamored with the word Buddhajivis. We didn't ask a single question. How can you make your baby take this free-flowing salt and free-flowing sugar? We didn't ask a question. We are manufacturing tons of it and then making all kinds of sweet dishes. And doesn't it require your attention? Same thing happened all along last 18 to 90 years. This food corporate culture has taken away the thinking brain of people all over the world and introduced step by step all the foods that can cause damage over part by part. Rice introduces glucose into your bloodstream in a matter of 15 minutes. Sugar, 2 minutes. Even when it is in the mouth, it is releasing glucose into your blood and is absorbed all over. Rice, it goes into your tummy and then into the intestine and then it goes into your bloodstream. Wheat, 15 minutes, the order. So what did we do? We are supposed to maintain the homeostasis of glucose balance in our blood, which we have systematically damaged in the last 80 years by choosing rice, wheat, sugar. So the basic glucose balance, which is the premises of your health, that as long as you have 5 grams of glucose in your blood, you are going to be healthy. If it increases, because the glucose absorbs water and your all living cells start getting dried up. And how much sugar are we dumping in our body? When you eat 100 grams of rice item, whatever it is, idli, dosa, or rice, or sweet, whatever, you are releasing minimum of 50 grams of glucose. 100 grams of rice has got 79 grams of carbohydrate. So when it gets digested, approximately 30 to 35 grams of sugar, that is glucose, is released. And then you add a sweet, you add sugar, another 30-40 grams. So another 15-20 grams. So when you take sweet first thing in the morning, you people are very crazy of eating sweets. That's what I was told. I am not very familiar. I never eat sweet in the morning. It's incredibly complicated for our tummy because it releases in one shot 50 to 60 grams of glucose. Then the whole physiology of the human body is thrown into emergency. The liver, the pancreas, the spleen, and other endocrine glands are all thrown into disarray. What they are supposed to do, they have to forget and start taking care of this excess glucose in the body.
But what about honey?
Let me finish. You keep your questions to the end. Then the glucose, instead of being 5 grams to maintain our homeostasis, we have now 50 grams. By the time you are cross 10 a.m., then if you get into this 3 meals, 4 meals a day habit we have got from this English fellows. Afternoon again you have 3-course meal, 4-course meal, depending upon your bucket. People are now eating 18-course meals in the afternoons. And if you calculate the glucose that is entering your bloodstream without any hindrance in a matter of half an hour, loading your blood up to 100 grams of glucose. Then evening chai, again sweet meat shops, gulab jamuns, misti, and all kinds of milky sweets and what all we have, all bakeries. Another 50 grams. And then dinner, again another 50 grams. I am talking being very conservative. So approximately you have loaded around 150 grams of glucose in a day. And okay, we need glucose. What are you talking? Without glucose, how can you live? Yes, everything that you eat, even if you eat karela, which is very bitter, it is also converted into glucose by our digestive system at the end of the day. So if you eat 100 grams of karela, you get 3 to 4 grams of glucose. Why? Because we need glucose to burn and get energy. And glucose is made in plants by green leaves, fixing the carbon dioxide into glucose. The energy from the sun is fixed into glucose. So the sun energy is in the glucose. And when you take it into our cells, there is a mitochondria which burns it with oxygen that we breathe. Take it in. So hemoglobin carries oxygen, goes into the blood, goes into each and every cell. The glucose that you have flooded into the blood is carried into the cell by insulin, the pancreas goes inside and gets burnt and you get energy. So to move my fingers, to move my eyelids, to breathe, to talk, to run, to do anything, the living activities require energy, we burn glucose. So now if I walk for 1.5 hours, I burn 5 grams of glucose. And if I sit and keep pressing my smartphone for 5 hours, I burn 1 gram of glucose. So you have to walk 1.5 hours to burn 5 grams of glucose, which is actually loaded all your blood stream, 5 liters to 6 liters. So no one is walking nowadays, including farmers, tractor, bike. They sit in the house and we have an app. Water is released on time. Water is closed on time. And now they have robots running their agriculture, sitting, and now they are all laptop. They press buttons and things are done. And they call themselves farmers. That means even farmers. I am not talking about Israeli farmers. I am talking about farmers in our villages now have this so-called smartphones and trying to do all these things. So pressing the buttons 5 hours also can consume 1 gram of glucose. But how much have you loaded in a day now? 150 grams or 100 grams being consumed. So how many hours do you walk to consume that, to make it into energy? How many hours have you to walk? 150 by 5, 30 hours to do. How many hours are there in a day? So you are -6. So you don't do anything other than walking the amount of food that you have eaten to be at homeostasis, to be balanced. But what are we doing? We are sitting, we are sleeping, watching TV. That means where does this glucose go? You see the imbalance you have created? You need glucose to survive. But then what are you doing? You are pumping in large quantities, suddenly flooding the blood. So kuch karna hai na? So the liver, it converts this glucose into cholesterol. It converts this glucose into triglycerides. It converts this into glycogen. Because all these things are required in small quantities. Without cholesterol, you cannot make vitamin D. Cholesterol आपका skin layers के अंदर होता है. When the sunlight falls, just like carbon dioxide is fixed into glucose by plant, the same way our skin fixes cholesterol into vitamin D when the sunlight falls. And without vitamin D, your immunity doesn't exist. That means your bone marrow doesn't make T cells, globulins, all these things to recognize the foreign viruses, foreign bacteria, so that it can fight and keep them away. So you need cholesterol. That's why there is cholesterol pathway from glucose to cholesterol. But then you have so much glucose, I know how to make cholesterol. So instead of making 2 grams of cholesterol, I will make 10 grams of cholesterol. Then triglycerides, I know how to make triglycerides. Instead of making 1 gram, I will make 15 grams because too much glucose is there. What if glucose is there in the blood? It absorbs water. It makes all the cells dry. Then you want to drink more water. You go and drink water. There is enough water, so that kicks in kidney. Kidney starts overfunctioning. And so every 1 hour you want to go and do. Oh, this is what is symptoms of diabetes. The doctor declares you have diabetes. That means there is glucose imbalance in your blood. It starts making different products, and ultimately what it does, it starts loading your hemoglobin. Instead of carrying oxygen, your hemoglobin has got attached to glucose, glycosylated hemoglobin. You become diabetic. So when instead of carrying oxygen to burn glucose, glucose itself is sitting on the hemoglobin. So where do you burn glucose now? So if you burn glucose only, you have energy. You want to press this smartphone. But then it is going and blocking itself because oxygen has to come to burn glucose. And I am blocking that door. So oxygen is, you are taking breath, but it's not getting into place where it should go. So then you start feeling breathless. Because oxygen is not going and sitting where it should sit. Sir, I have asthma. Why? Because this glucose is blocking the hemoglobin. And then when it is flowing in the swashokosh, the lungs, you are not having the exchange. So you feel another diseases. You see, the glucose imbalance thus leads to more than 100 diseases. So now you have diabetes, you have asthmatic condition, you have higher glycogen, the liver is storing glycogen, and then glycogen, the more and more, it makes meat and it makes fat. So where do I keep this? Put under your tummy, put under your shoulders, put under your buttocks. Then what is happening? You are becoming obese, fat. So the human body actually, according to the, should be weighing between 50 to 60 kilos for women and 60 to 70 kilos for men in India, even if you are 6 feet tall. But nowadays 4 feet women are weighing 100 kilos. 5 women, 4 feet girls below the age of 10 are weighing 80 kilos, 70 kilos. In America, the numbers are horrific. There are kids weighing 150 kilos in America. What does this indicate? That we are loading our bloodstream with excess glucose, which the body is trying to distribute into various these products, these biological biosynthetic pathways, and increasing the toxicity. Glucose itself has become toxic for you now. Am I right? So that is disease. So where did disease come from? From your?
Who would have used?
Is food disease giving? No, actually it should have been otherwise. That means this food that we have chosen in the last 100 years, who chose this food? The companies. They chose rice, wheat, sugarcane as the agricultural thing because they made fertilizers, they made pesticides, they wanted market for that. In fact, 80 to 90, maybe 100 years ago, these companies came and threw these fertilizers in the farmlands of many farmers against their will in the night to show that your plants are growing better. And then they took hold of the governments and started giving these fertilizers in subsidy. Slowly and steadily, it took 20-25 years in the name of Green Revolution. They changed agricultural practices all over the world. So what were we growing before? Before this happened, 70 years ago or 50 years ago. So the food slowly changed its face. It became rice, it became wheat, it became sugarcane. And you are all addicted to this taste of rice, wheat and sugar. What were we eating before 100 years, 150 years? No one knew because they wiped out the seeds. All over the world there were no seeds. 108 varieties of foxtail millet were existing. I am not talking about different kinds of millets. I am talking about one millet, foxtail millet. 108 varieties of foxtail millets. And depending upon the area and water and the soil, different tribals, different people on this planet were growing different kinds of millets. There are actually 18,000 kinds of millets, not 100, 18,000. All are wiped out by this present corporate food science. They call science. Whatever they published is science. And whatever existed for thousands of years is voodoo magic. This is how these Western scientific establishments started war against the local foods, war against the local methods, because they want to centralize and keep everything in their hands. The seeds, the farmers have to run to them. The fertilizers, farmers have to run to them. So they have taken over the world. And you people are all thinking, I am eating my sweet, I like this, I like that. But all of the world is eating only these 3 or 4 items. Sugar, rice, wheat, and then next came another revolution, so-called protein revolution. And all of a sudden, they started telling you need protein, you need protein. Protein is essential part of any living thing. You don't need extra protein. This flower has protein. Our body has protein. Moonga has protein. Rice has protein. Wheat has protein. Millets have protein. And when you eat any plant-based food, every living thing absorbs protein. There is no need for special protein. But then they made soybean by GM techniques, genetically modified techniques. And they started feeding this mix of corn and soybean to the pigs, to the chicken, to the, you name it, cows, all kinds of animals, depending upon your choice of meat. Now we have gone one step further. Now I know I can take, what's your name? Priyanka. I can take a small piece of your meat and then analyze. And then I can bring amino acid, fat, carbohydrate, composition, mix. I can make Priyanka meat. 10,000 tons. No problem. And then you can order, I want Priyanka meat burger. Sorry. But Aishwarya Rai, we can. We don't like. This cell line culture technology is coming. And you don't need to cook. You don't need kitchen. We have centrally processed burgers. And you just order online. A drone will come and feed directly. You don't need to even take it. This is the vision this corporate culture has for you in coming 10-15 years. That means they are taking over your kitchens, they are taking over your food, everything. You can only order and then. But what happens to you by eating this imbalanced food? They are saying you need 30% of protein. In fact, when you load 30% of protein, your kidney starts giving up. Uric acid increases, creatinine increases. CKD patients are increasing. The moment people started eating eggs in the name of protein, CKD patients became more. No problem, we have dialysis units. You keep coming and get yourself dialyzed. You see the connection, how they are happily introducing in one phase, in the name of food, in the name of technology, in the name of higher needs. And you need this, you need that, you need this. But everything you need in very small, balanced conditions and balanced way. How do you regulate glucose? You need glucose, not flooded glucose. You need protein, not 20 grams, 30 grams. You need only few grams. For the whole body, you need not more than 2 grams. Because you analyze any living thing, you have 5 to 6% of this protein. For some it is 4, for some it is 7. But not beyond that. Any living thing, including a lion, if you take its meat. So these lying through their teeth, these food corporations have been giving you glucose, fat and protein, so-called meat, in large quantities because they want to do business. And you see the whole human race has started swelling. Obesity is a disease now. Uncontrollable. In America it is 18% to 38% of people are obese depending upon the areas. And you see the same thing happening in big cities right now, and Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and now the oils. The story of oils is much more frightening, much more frightening. So I came with glucose, and I talked about protein. What were the real things? What were the old times? That's why I started with mithas. This is the mitha that Bengal produced, and Britishers became jealous, and they came up with sugar and taken away your real. This is actually sweet, but this is not glucose. Most of it is fructose, sister of glucose. It is called isomer. It is sweet. It is the same thing, but it is different. It's the same thing, same chemical formula, but the way things are arranged is little different. It gives you sweetness. It goes into your body. It just gets away. It doesn't disturb you anyway. So, lot of this jaggery, palm jaggery, there are a lot of different kinds of palm trees. Toddy palm, silver date palm, khajur palm, coconut palm, fish tail palm, depending upon the different continents, different places. In different way, the water is supplied. This toddy palm and silver date palm are actually freshwater palm trees. Coconut tree is a backwater, that is where salt water and sweet water mix, you get coconut. You get palm, only the salt water. You see islands like Indonesia, Malaysia, the palm trees, that palm oil you make. And then you have completely dry lands where oasis, like Dubai, Sharjah, that desert area, you see khajur palm. All these trees, when they are forming the inflorescence, the syrup, it's called phloem. Their phloem is very different, scientifically, naturally. God has made to see that water is pumped, and the syrup, when the flower is formed and the seeds are formed, different kinds of coconut or arak nut or silver date nuts, all these nuts are formed. It needs the fructose-based liquid goes in, and you make a small dent and collect that syrup and boil, you get palm jelly. Whether it is toddy palm, whether it is silver date palm, whether it is khajur palm, whether it is coconut palm, depending upon the yield. Fish tail palm is actually highest yields. It gives you almost per day 20 to 30 liters of this syrup, whereas silver date palm gives you 5 liters. Toddy palm gives you 15 liters. So when you boil 1 liter of this wonderful sugary syrup, it gives you 1 kilo or 0.75 kilos of jaggery. And we were experts, especially Bengalis and some parts of Andhra and Karnataka, independently made this jaggery. That means Bengalis did not teach them how to make jaggery, or they did not teach Bengalis. But lo and behold, if you read the history and make research, it is so incredible that both artisans made the best jaggery, the same method. Incredible. And you won't believe, the same thing happened in Indonesia. They made sweet, but chronologically a little later. So if you date the chronologically, There is a place in Karnataka and Sundarbans. The sweet is made, I believe, first time by human race in these parts, this Bengal. I mean, sweet means Sundarbans, these trees. So that's why I just wanted to start mithas. I mean, the human race got sweet from this place. No wonder you are all genetically tuned for sweet, sweet, sweet. But sadly, you are eating wrong sweet. It is the poison. This you can eat 10 grams. Glucose is 0.5 grams or 2 grams. Nothing bothers you. So even a diabetic patient can take part little bit of this. But don't get up in the morning and start eating sweets. Okay? So, even if a diabetic patient is there, you can have sweet. With this, but now like you are taking whiskey and all this sugarcane based sugar is going to kill you. Because you are going to make more and more dirt in your body. And that's why you are becoming fat, your liver is getting spoiled, your pancreas is stopping to make insulin and you are becoming gangrenous, your eyes are getting bad retinopathy, neuropathy, gangrenous conditions. All these are due to glucose imbalance maturing very fast and you are not able to, your inside parts are not able to manage. Then these guys declare you are an ICU patient. Come, we will operate, MRI, CT scan, this scan, that scan. But does it help you? It will never help you. Scientifically, they are not touching the root cause of the problem at all. So these doctors can never ever cure you. And that's why they have conveniently declared a list of diseases incurable. Diabetes is incurable. Thyroid problem is incurable. BP is incurable. What is BP? Excess triglycerides, cholesterol, blocking your blood vessels, creating pressure to the heart, and if possible, the heart and around veins and arteries get clogged up. You have heart blocks 90%, 95%. Tomorrow angiogram, day after tomorrow operation. But simply the problem is because what you are eating. So no doctor tells you, don't eat sugar. Instead, what are they telling? Don't eat salt. Salt can you eat? I'll give you salt. Can you eat? If by chance your wife forgets and adds salt second time to the dish, we cannot eat. But this doctors are telling BP is because of salt. We cannot eat salt more than what we can. It has its own regulation. Salt may disturb the water mechanism and make you feel that BP is increasing when you, but you should have already BP to start with because of eating rice, eating wheat, eating sugar, drinking milk and all. That is the problem which doctors are not telling. Oh, you can eat whatever you want, take this tablet. Because they have declared it as incurable. But the simple answer lies in not eating rice, not eating milk, not eating sugar, not eating wheat. You understand the science of the food now? So even if you don't eat anything for 2-3 days, your problems will decrease. That's why they said Ekadasi, please fast. Make it a habit once in 15 days. Of course, don't need to do once in 15 days, once a month. But today we are loading so much that you may have to fast next 20 days. In fact, it has become a fad now that you go to an ashram or some wellness center, they make you fast and you feel better. This is the logic. But can you fast for long? No, you cannot fast. See, one unscientific thing leads to another unscientific thing. So what is the first thing that we should take care of? release the glucose slowly and steadily into your bloodstream. See to it that homeostasis is not disturbed. And that is the most scientific thing you can do to your body. That is, release the glucose. You need glucose depending upon how much work you do. So minimum of 1.5 hours if you walk, the whole bloodstream is now wanting glucose in a healthy way. So if you walk every day 1.5 hours, anyway it is important we be in the sun because we need to make vitamin D. So walk in the early morning sun 1.5 hours. You have done everything for your body so that the toxic materials are not going to come. You see the beauty of this simple arrangement, and that is what is called Surya Namaskar. Early morning when the sun is rising with this orange color, you run around, and our ancestors did one kind of exercise. If you do that, your blood flows properly and vitamin D actually is made much more efficient when you do Surya Namaskar. Of course, if you just walk or even if you sit, you will make vitamin D. So you made vitamin D, you walk, you have unloaded all the glucose that you are there. So the whole day, your bloodstream is taking glucose without problem. And now if you have a mechanism to release glucose slowly and steadily, you maintain the balance of glucose. And that is the source of all our diseases to start with. You understand the logic and the science of this? Actually, I don't like the word magic of millets. Magic means you do doing something. Or some people call, actually many patients call me, I am a miracle man, a magic doctor. I am neither of them. Millets are the most scientifically designed grains by God to suit our tummies. They release glucose slowly and steadily because the fiber is intertwined with the carbohydrate. Not that millets do not have carbohydrate. In fact, brown top millet has got 69% of carbohydrate. But what it has and what other grains do not have is 12.5% of fiber. It is intertwined. So you want glucose, you better get fiber out of that and then get your glucose. So it takes for our digestive processes 6 to 8 hours to get glucose. So first it has to remove the layer of fiber which is attached to the carbohydrate and then get the carbohydrate polymer, then divide it into smaller and smaller and smaller units. At the end of the day, by the time it reaches intestine, glucose is made smaller, it's 2 grams, 3 grams. Because fiber is there, soluble and insoluble, holding the carbohydrate not to be released in a flood-like manner. That is the beauty of millets, and that is the science of health. So, when a gangrenous patient comes to me, I feed him one of these 5 millets. There are other millets, ragi, jowar, marwa, I don't know the Hindi names, pearl millet, proso millet, finger millet, grape millet, maize, all these are also millets. But their fiber content is varying, and if you have got the protocol, the booklet, there is a we have got all the nutrient list in a tabular form. Of all the 10 grains, page number page number 5. All the values of protein, fiber, carbohydrate, everything is given. Now what I am trying to establish is that there is no magic in millets. There is no miracle in millets. The reason why people refer to as magic or miracle is because no doctor has cured a gangrene patient. No doctor has cured an autoimmune kid. No doctor has cured a cancer patient. But when they eat millets, I went to Chandigarh the other day. Meghana is also here, I think. The kid is born. It's been 5 years. She is in the hospital. Not even one day she has come out of the hospital. They declared her to have autoimmune disease. She doesn't even have the energy to say that the parts are paining to her. She can't. She is moaning all the time. And she is permanently in the hospital for 5.5 years. And they got hold of this protocol list, and there is a table called autoimmune disease. Page number 24, 102 protocol. They followed this, fed the baby the khameer of this 3 days foxtail millet, 3 days brown top millet, and gave them the oils of coconut oil, safflower oil, Niger seed oil. Lo and behold, in 6 weeks, the baby started moving on the bed. And then another 6 weeks, she started walking in the ward. Now it has been 8 months. She is running around, bubbly. Happily they came. In fact, 15 of their family members came and wanted to put namaskar on me. They said, "You are a miracle doctor." So I have not seen her, I have not touched her. And believe me, it's not a miracle. It is soundly based on the principles of maintaining the balance, homeostasis of our physiological existence. When you are balanced, you are healthy. When you are imbalanced, you are sick. As simple as that. Sadly, we are now a civilization where we are giving birth to kids who are mentally retarded, autoimmune disorder, and juvenile diabetes, hole in the heart, hole in the brain, and we call ourselves advanced and developed and developing. And the percentage of this mentally retarded kids being born is increasing every year. Now in India it is 8%. In China it is 17%. In America it is 18%. In Japan it is 11%. Wherever this industrial food takes over, all these diseases are happily increasing. And no doctor, no scientist, no politician, no organization, no healthcare industry wants to acknowledge this. And this is the sad story of human race. This is the sad story of human race. We are all obese, we are all diabetic. I don't want to go into the numbers of diabetes. I came, few people escorted me from the airport to the house where Jaju's house. Kolkata is the capital of diabetes. I went to Ahmedabad. Gujarat is capital of diabetes. I go to Hyderabad. Andhra is capital of diabetes. All are fighting for being capital of diabetes. Shame on you. And we have multidisciplinary hospitals, each one in each street. And that is the essence of development. The other day, one of my friends from California calls me. It's been 30 years. He wants to come back to India. He said, "Khadar, I believe Mysore is a beautiful place. Can you purchase a place for me?" I said, "Okay." It's been 30 years he talked to me. All of a sudden, he knows now Khadar is in Mysore, have become very popular. And we actually were roommates while first when we did PhD in English or Science. I said, yeah. How much? No problem. 2 crores, 3 crores, no issue. But Khadar, see that there is a hospital nearby. That's the kind of security feeling he wants. Sad story. Why? I asked, said my wife has thyroid, I have diabetes, my mother is suffering from rheumatism, my son is mentally disabled. Steve Jobs, you know? I miss this guy. He doesn't know how much money he had. I believe his worth was calculated to be Indian government budget of 1 year. And he didn't know how many doctors attended to him. He didn't know how many technologies were used on his body. He suffered pancreatic cancer and died a miserable death. And you people are all thinking, I have money, I can go to multi-speciality hospitals. Multi-speciality hospitals went to him. They could not even reduce his pain. He was begging for sleep. They put him on morphine patches. He couldn't get sleep. You know what is morphine patch?
Painkiller.
Ultimate alkaloid. This is one of the drugs. You go high. You have hallucinations, all kinds of. Even that did not relieve you because the pain was so much. So whatever advanced technologies that you are all thinking that these doctors are throwing at you cannot help you because there is no science in it. The science is in the millets. It balances your glucose, and that is the ultimate foundation you need to build. Because these 5 grains, Khadar, little, foxtail, barnyard and brown top, whose carbohydrate by fiber ratio is in single digits. You see the table, you will find one of the columns. And that is the science of it. I don't even claim I have cured people. I have not even seen. Thousands and lakhs of people keep calling me, say, I have thrown away my insulin. I have done away with the doctors. In fact, I went to one of the remote villages. One family was in Bangalore, software company, husband and wife. They left everything and went and settled in the small village of their 10 acres land. They said, it's been 5 years after listening to my lectures, they went and settled. They have not seen a doctor till now. Whole family, mother, mother-in-law, father, father-in-law, husband and wife and 4 kids. Otherwise, every year they used to spend minimum of 2 lakh visiting doctors. They said last 5 years, they have not seen a single doctor and there was no need for that. Yeah, we should have actually clapped. And that is science. And that is health. So eliminating doctors should be the highest goal of our living. So a doctor, if he is a real doctor, should eliminate his role from people's life. And that is the definition of doctor, according to me. Keep coming, keep coming. I have MRI, I have CT scan, I have this scan, I have that scan. Highly advanced tools we have. First you do X-ray, oh it's not very clear. You do CT scan, oh it's not very clear. You do MRI, charge for everything. Corona, I have PPE, I have this. One patient, same charge. Another patient, same charge. Wearing only one gloves and one PPE. 100 patients, 100 charges. And now this you call this science?
Classroom.
Why are we not asking questions? We didn't ask question when they said milk is good for you. And they made GMO, HF, Jersey cow's milk, milking the cow 25 liters per cow. Call it white revolution. It is going to take care of all nutritional problems for the whole world. Now, more than half the world is malnutrition. The white revolution has been there for the last 40 years, and people have been drinking this milk, liters and liters of it, as if it is not enough. They are being fed now paneer and cheese, concentrated milk. How? We will fortify the milk with vitamin D. People are drinking fortified vitamin D milk, and the most deficient vitamin in the world right now is vitamin D. So where did this all vitamin D go? Science. When Dr. Khadar says, get up in the morning and see the orange color sun, oh, this fellow is talking about Hinduism. No science. Surya Namaskar. What the hell? Believe me, even if he is an American, he can come to India and orange color sun, he will get vitamin D. And that is science. This is the problem with present day science. Someone has to publish in one of the journals, then only it is science. Now I say I have helped a lot of people get well. Have you got published? I said I want to publish. I want to know who publishes. So no one published. That's why a small booklet I have written. I have not written this. And I have not said someone is well. I said do this, you may be well. And believe me, whoever follows this sincerely, even if he has cancer, even if he is HIV patient, even if you don't know the disease name, now they call autoimmune disease. It doesn't matter, because your glucose imbalanced, microbial imbalanced, hormonally imbalanced. The milk that you are all drinking has made you hormonally imbalanced. That's why you have thyroid problem, pituitary problem, this problem, that problem. And all women started shaving more than men. Once this white revolution came in. You go to America, women shave more than men. Still they didn't understand why this is happening. In fact, girls started menstruating at the age of 6. In fact, my journey began when I went to America first in 1986 or 7. A small girl started menstruating. I went into the hospital to get my medical certificate to join. I see the first day, a small girl, 6-year-old girl, menstruating, not able to stop her bleeding. Her mother brought her to the hospital. I asked, why did this happen? In India, the girls menstruate at the age of 14 or 15. Then, now, I have in my clinic, per day, 3 to 4 girls coming at the age of 4. The other day, 4-year-old girl has menstruation. We didn't ask question, why did this happen? Till today, no doctor is asking, no institute, no scientist, no organization is asking, why the hell our girls are menstruating at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9? Isn't it more than atomic bomb? No, we are so insensitive. that all our women are suffering every month with menstrual cycles not being altered. PCOD is a name everyone is talking about. All the girls have this PCOD. Almost 80% of the girls are women by the time one of the years they are getting this. It's all because of hormonal imbalance that we have created by coffee, tea, milk, paneer, burgers, cheese, and of course, anda, Sunday yak, Monday cow, Monday Sachin Tendulkar comes and, oh my God, Sachin Tendulkar, God has told, eat. He doesn't eat. He has an organic form on his house. CKD. Sir, I have CKD problem. How do I solve? So, you go take hot water bath, you go and do like this, do like that, come dialysis. Nothing is going to help you over a longer period. These diet plans are not sustainable. How do you live healthily? Please follow the science of your body. SINGNS, SCINC, both. The science of it is you are microbially imbalanced. You fill your tummy with good microbes, and that microbes are going to help you to deal with all the problems. You do not know, you cannot think. They will think for you. That's why it's called gut feeling. In fact, I call this second brain. All the logistics, where every nutrient, how much nutrient, when, in all 3-4 dimensions, the regulators are your microbes. But what are you doing? You are taking milk, you are eating antibiotics, you are taking everyday steroid tablet, this milk, all are killing your microbes. And that's why in this lifestyle you have to restore your gut microbes. And the best method is what our ancestors did. Khamir, it is called khamir in Hindi. You take any fibrous grain, soak it well for 8 to 10 hours. Why do you need to soak these 5 grains? No, there is no phytic acid in millets. 0.00 something. It is to soak, to hydrate the fiber. Without hydrating fiber, the water molecules have to get in, and then the whole fiber starts vikasana. It just opens up. Then sim cooking will help you to release things. So without soaking, if you cook, only the top layer is cooked. The inside, nothing happens. So many people complain, oh, I started eating millets, oh, I have stomach pain, I have this pain, I have that pain, I have heat in my body. Because you do not know how to cook. And phytic acid is in your pulses. These dals, rajma, moong dal, chana dal, all these dals have phytic acid. When you soak it, it comes into water. That you have to throw. So when you soak pulses, throw away the water. When you soak millets, don't throw the water. This is the difference. The reason is this. And what are we doing? We mix everything, put in the cooker, phytic acid is there, everything is there. You eat that rajma beans, you are bloated. Because the gassy. So, our way of cooking, this is the problem with all. We have lost touch with our kitchen. Because, as I told you, the drone is coming with burger. That's what we are dreaming. Why the hell I should cook? The kitchen is gone. In fact, in America, there are no relationships because there is no kitchen. There is bedroom and toilet. Toilet is near the bedroom because they cannot hold the urine. As soon as you get urine, they have to run and sit in the toilet. That's why you have attached bathrooms. I cannot believe you have attached bathrooms. You shit where you sleep. But we are doing that. And you use a lot of chemicals to clean that place. That chemicals are good enough for you to get sick. The toilet cleaners, you are smelling, you are breathing every day from your attached bathrooms is good enough to get you nervous disorders. And that's why you are not able to hold your urine. So you run to the toilet. And the toilets is another big story. You are supposed to have your peristaltic movement to shit, which you are not allowing by the way you are sitting in this Western toilets. You sit like this. It's not open. It's pressure, pressure, pressure. And the shit is not coming. Whereas the olden days, what we used to do, we used to sit on the 3 fingers of the toe and support your buttocks with the heels. And this is called Malasana. You come to Shabarimala from the south, there is one god. He sits like this. And he is called a Nitya Yapana. He is always young. The reason is, it is symbolic. You remove toxic morbid waste on a daily basis. There are 4 kinds of waste in your body. One is shit, another is urine, another is sweat, another is carbon dioxide, the wash. So if all these 4 toxic, where does this toxicity come from? Any biological reaction leads to toxic waste. Like you are getting energy, taking oxygen and carbon dioxide is there. And if you keep it inside, you will die. In fact, America, the most popular method of suicide is they start the car in their garages and sleep in the garage. They die in the morning. We have carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide replaces oxygen slowly in the hemoglobin and it is not exchanged. You end up dead. So every biochemical reaction releases toxic waste which have to be removed consistently on a daily basis. And that's what these millets do so wonderful, because they have got 8 to 12% of fiber, which is soluble as well as insoluble. The insoluble fiber goes and deposits in the gut, enhancing the microbes as well as maintaining the quality of formation of shit. And all the good things are retained, bad things are gone. And the soluble fiber, each millet, little millet can clean up your reproductive organs, be it all your PCOD problems, all your thyroid problems, all your fibroid problems, all your menstrual cycles problem will be wiped out in a matter of 6 months to 1 year if you eat little millet more. So the protocols are written based on your disease and the place organ. So that organ has to be cleaned up properly. But then you cannot neglect other organs. So all these 5 grains are cleaning up different parts of your body. Foxtail millet cleans up your lungs and neurons. Barnyard millet cleans up your soft parts in your body like kidneys, spleen, pancreas, like that. And brown top millet cleans up from your mouth to anus all the parts involved. And beautifully Kodo millet cleans up your bone marrow, blood and lymph nodes and everything. So in these 5 minutes you are rotating and eating in turn. 2 days Kodo millet, 2 days foxtail millet, 2 days little millet. All the parts are cleaned up. But then all at a sudden these business fellows get brilliant ideas. We'll mix all of them. Multi-grain. Because in the flour mill, all the left out is mixed. So So they want to make money out of that box. So you eat kodo millet, you are healthy. You eat foxtail millet, you are healthy. You eat 5 of them together, you are much more healthy. Another advertisement. But nothing happens because the fiber is not enough. If you eat 100 grams of all these things put together, you are eating only 20. So the fiber content to clean up that particular part is not enough. So you can eat 20 days, 30 days of this multigrain stuff. Your system is not clean. So food is not just to give you energy. What is the definition? Another second characteristic of food is to keep your body clean. Toxic morbid waste that is generated in each and every biochemical process. So zero waste technology. And that's what nature is all about. So when you eat millets, you are following zero waste technology because it is inherent in the millets, the fiber that cleans up the nonsense that you create while creating energy. The energy is created not without toxicity. Anywhere, any part of any process, even if it is nuclear energy, you create waste. Even if it is the so-called oil energy, you create waste. The same thing happens. Including the glucose when you fix, it is giving away oxygen. When you burn glucose, you release carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is poisonous for living things. That's why carbon dioxide has to get fixed. And that's why God created plants, chlorophyll, reverse of glucose burning. You see the beauty of these wonderful things in nature. Zero waste. That same principle has to be there in your biological process. Otherwise, you become sick. Now, America, Russia, all these fellows, atomic energy, they boasted. Now the waste, they don't know what to do. They have loaded into trains and they are running all around their countries. There is a big train railway system that is carrying because they don't know where to keep. In Nevada desert, they try to keep this radioactive waste in lead cases. Still it is leaked and it is formed into the waters. This is the problem. When you create a technology, you have to have zero waste technology. And that's what is millet. Actually, you all guys should have clapped at least 10 times in the last, where you are all lost. Yeah. I'm happy you didn't clap. I'm glad you're all thinking. And that is my objective. Yeah. When I eat millets, I don't need water, I don't need food for another 7 to 8 hours because it releases water as well as energy slowly and steadily. And that is the science of, I like the word magic of millets. But there is nothing magical about this. There is nothing miraculous about millets. Why you are calling millets magic and miraculous? Because you are suffering with sicknesses that you have created by unscientific method of producing food and eating unscientifically. And you have no clue as to get rid of them. And every bit of millet looks like magic for you. And every piece of Dr. Khadar words looks like miracle for you. But it is just the contrary. You can bring lakhs of gangrenous patients, feed them this protocol. Out of lakh, maybe 100 may die. Remaining all will become well. Because that is what is science. Anywhere, anytime, anyone can perform this experiment. And that is the definition of science. Miracle, Christ touching someone, the blind woman became, that is miracle. I am not claiming that. This is science of millets, which has been taken away, hidden away, made money out of by introducing all these nonsensical, unscientific grains. So, the human race has missed the bus by design of few corporate companies. As simple as this. And we didn't ask question when we were told milk is good for you. And on top of it, these so-called doctors and so-called educated people ask me, how do you get your calcium if there is no milk in your food? Oh God, bless me. You want calcium? 10 times more of that is available in sesame seed. 4 times more is available in finger millet. Twice in groundnut. Why did these doctors not say a single word about sesame seed which can grow just with 4 rains without disturbing nature? And you can create tons and tons of it with just 4 or 5 rains. No. They want to create 1 liter of milk. You need 1,000 liters of irrigated water. And by drinking 1 liter of milk, you only have 938 milligrams of calcium, which you cannot absorb because your tummy has switched off the enzyme to digest milk at the age of 3. At the age of 3. So you can go on drinking milk, take paneer, all that, you only are going to load your kidney with excess protein and you have platform made for CKD patients. That's why when the milk and the eggs came into picture in the human society, CKD patients, you can draw a graph, perfect match. CKD patients increase and increase use of milk and eggs. Did any scientific institution do this study? No, because they are the ones who are controlling, telling that you get calcium from milk. And vitamin D, we are fortifying. But after taking this vitamin D fortified milk, osteoporosis has increased. That means you are not getting calcium at all in your body, and the bones, there is calcium, the body is sucking the calcium out of your bones. And many of the menstrual so-called 45-year-old ladies have osteoporosis. 63% people are entering into this stage. Oh, no problem, we have calcium tablet. All kinds of calcium supplements, $1 billion business. What science is there in this? I cannot understand. Please keep this kind of rheumatism, arthritism, osteoporosis, all names put together. Keep the patient in the sun and feed them till laddu made out of this sugar, palm sugar. Lo and behold, there was a lady 20 years on the bed, rheumatism, steroids, not able to hold, turning like this. 6 months followed this protocol of rheumatism and arthritis. Sat in the sun early morning for 6 weeks. After 8 months, she is driving herself a scooter. I have hundreds of these cases and they have not seen me. I have not seen these patients at all. I have not touched them. I have not even heard them. They have not even seen me or touched me. They have just got this protocol. In fact, they have not even heard my smartphone lectures. It is the science of food. It is the science of millets that does this. And that's why you think I am magical and miraculous. Because you are all floating in unscientific garbage. Excuse me for that word. I don't want to be called a miracle man or magic doctor. I am vehemently opposing that. Here is a science. Anyone can do. They don't need to come to me. We have the protocols. Just follow this. But the problem with all of you is, who will do this? Morning without coffee, my day doesn't begin. And this is the problem with it. Because you are being brainwashed. And who will soak 8 hours as if you are going to sit in front of the Millets and watch them being soaked? I did that because I wanted to learn what is happening. I watched millets being soaked for 2 to 3 hours continuously and took and seen the difference. You don't need to do that. Oh, we have no time. What time you have? You have no time. For what do you have time? I am asking this question. We didn't ask these questions. We didn't ask, why should I drink milk? You didn't ask, why should I take that plastic oils that you are providing us for 100 rupees per liter? How on earth you can get 500 rupees per liter olive oil all over Mumbai and Kolkata and Delhi, everywhere? Where are these olive trees to provide this much oil? Did we ask this question? No, we didn't ask. Some chef came and said, olive oil is rich in this omega-6, omega-3 oils. Oh, everyone bring olive oil, this chef, that chef. In fact, if you just see the chef shows, so much olive oil flows, I wonder where did these fellows get this olive oil? I have traveled around, there are no olive trees on this planet. Very few of them are there actually. But then we are all so-called rich people on olive oil. Fantastic, very good. Bring olive oil. Oh, sunflower oil. Billions of liters. Where is this sunflower seed? Each liter you need 6 kilos of seed to be pressed, even if it is expeller. You extract everything out of it. Still you need minimum of 4 kilos. So if your Mumbai alone consumes billion liters in a month or so, you need 4 billion kilos of that seed. Where is it? I want to know. We didn't ask these questions. And when they supplied rice and our south, our great leaders, 1 rupee kilo, free rice. Take 10 kilos per person, vote bank politics, and they ate that rice. Otherwise they were eating foxtail millet and they were healthy. They started eating this rice and became diabetes. No problem, we are going to give you dialysis free. This is what our politicians are promising. We are going to have dialysis units in each and every taluk headquarters, and if you have this card, some card, whatever, yoga card, yoga card, some arogya card, some card, it is free. Some, whatever, some name, Tejaswini, Yojaswini, some schemes. And we didn't ask questions. Why the hell do we need dialysis machines? They are giving free. And we are like, oh, this fellow, it's a water bank. We go just, what's going on with us? We never ask these questions. And when there is upper lip hair, let's run to beauty parlors. Now it's a big show. Every day, TV, beauty parlor show. You remove your hair this way, you remove your hair that way, you put this one there, that one there. That protocols people are ready to follow. And this protocol, how do you cook millets? It's difficult. Time takes time. Cooking is the same. Once you soak, everything is same. Idli makes dosa, paratha, everything is very simple. In fact, you ask Meghna, she is so skilled, she will tell you. Oh, I can also tell you. It's very simple. In fact, I cook. And it's simple, very simple. You use the right ingredients. You can make paratha. Okay, you want noodles? You can make noodles. It doesn't matter whether you noodles or chapati or bread. Only difference is when you make bread, you use hell a lot of energy. That's all. But you like bread, you eat bread, but make out of millets. But whatever you eat, drink 1 cup of khamir every day. Why? You want to see your gut microbes replenished because they die. Their lifespan is 21 days to 42 days. So they keep growing, but you need to keep replenishing. So at least once you are healthy, once a week at least you take khamir. But if you are sick with cancer, diabetes and all, please drink minimum of 1 cup, 200 ml of khamir every day. Initially, we actually tell many sick people, be on khamir for 4 or 5 weeks. Oh sir, I cannot eat khamir. Well, because he wants to eat whiskey. He wants to eat burji, omelette, these things. You are in a sick condition. To get you out of that, you need microbes to repair you properly. And that is the reason why you need khamir. Because they only know where is the deficiency, how much is deficiency, how to fulfill it. All these regulators, transporters, in its technical terms I am talking, which I don't like to. But it happens properly when you do this. That's why we made it into a handbook, simple, straightforward. And don't think this has no science. Each and every sentence is science in this book. And that's why we call this actually the science and art of living. It is science and art of living. Art because you need to cook with art. Science because what you cook, what you eat is science. So, you understand the importance of millets, which is being hoodwinked by these corporate people to the whole human race. So, I want the human race consciously choose the millets as their food because it is the most scientific thing that you can do for you and for your future generations. And the people, oh, I don't know that is not tasty, this is not tasty. Taste doesn't come from your rice or meat. It is how you cook, how much spices you add, how much balanced way you do things. You go to Andhra, they have this chilies, they dump. And that's their culture. They eat very hot food. Now I come to here, you dump good for everything. Sweet. So both are wrong. You got to find balance is imbalance is sickness. So you transcend from materials into your mental domain. And that's where you create thoughts. That's where you create your health. So where does the decision? It's here. So what to eat, how to eat, what to not to eat is all. See, these things have to come from conscious choices. But you have not made these choices. You are being brainwashed by these external factors. And I am trying to tell people, please make choices on knowledge. It is the knowledge that makes you healthy. So choose things knowing what you are doing. See, now there is a pit here. I know there is a pit. So what do you do when you go nearby? You want to fall into the pit? You start thinking, how do I go? Do I jump or go around it or put a ladder? So you are thinking of different ways of doing things because you know there is a pit. Now imagine you don't know the pit. You have no idea. You will fall in. And that's what has happened to all the human race according to me in the last 100 years, that we have been hoodwinked, that there is a pit. Now we are in the pit. And the ladder is millets. This choice of rice, wheat, sugar cane, milk has yielded great damages on the planetary environmental conditions, because each kilo of sugar requires 28,000 liters of water. The same kilo doesn't require any water. And if we take water as the parameter of one of the environmental wellness, if you are eating 1 year of wheat, give me that much water, I will eat 30 years with millets. For this, you have to tap for 5 minutes actually. And all these environmentalists are saying, save water, save water. Oh, this lady has opened the tap and the water is running. This Bollywood fellows and all these TV fellows are showing that poor lady opened the tap, there was no water actually. So she forgot to leave the tap closed. She walked away because there was no water, she walked away. Then these municipality fellows release water whenever they are happy and the water is flowing. Then this journalist go. So she has opened the water, she didn't close. So you are wasting water. But you are eating wheat, you are wasting 1,000 times more water. 1 year of wheat eating is equivalent to 30 years of millet eating. 30 years. And how much water you want to save? So don't talk all nonsense by these environmentalists. If you are a real environmentalist, you will start eating millets this second onwards. And growing millets is the only way to bring back the top layers soil of the broken land. Because it is the roots of these millets that can save the soil from even the worst typhoons and the biggest flood. Even if there is a flood of 100 kilometers water flow, the soil you can hold by this roots. So wherever there is space on the soil, please grow millets, not to eat, just to save the soil. The runoff. In fact, our only scientific way of bringing back our soil to fertility is growing millets. There is no other way. There is no other way. Nowadays all are writing songs, save soil, save this, save do that. But how do you do that? By choosing to eat millets, the whole planet. Actually, my dream is to grow millets all over the world, and there is no need for anyone to buy food actually. It's the most freely available. It can grow anywhere and everywhere. 10 degrees centigrade it can grow, 45 degrees also it can grow. Whereas your rice, wheat and sugar cane cannot do that. You need so much hangama, so much energy, so many dams, so much denuding the forest. And we think we are all very progressive, very scientific, very... See the mistakes we have been doing one after the other? And we call all these fellows scientists. I mean, it's been 100 years. We are not able to figure out that there is a problem. And all are big engineers, all are big, there are hundreds of Nobel laureates. What are they doing? I don't know. It is so simple that we are imbalanced. We have to correct that. And we have done. Of course, in small numbers. They are not small actually. Lakhs of people are getting healed. Lakhs and lakhs. Without mind. We have no hospitals or anything like that. It's all done in their kitchens. It's all done in their kitchens. It is the mothers, it is the sisters. In fact, inspired sisters are actually doing this. In fact, there is near Hyderabad one lady, she just cooks 25 kilos of millets, puts it in a cart and goes and stands in the center and feeds all the poor people. And they have started throwing away their diabetic tablets. 6 months she has done.
Wow.
And I went to Nandiala. There was one Muslim lady who had a fibroid, cancerous fibroid. She followed this, got cured. Now she takes a stick, all her Muslim families, she goes with the stick. If they eat wheat, she beats them up and makes them eat this. Now I'm not cooking up the stories. I actually getting the real people talking like. No, we have hundreds and hundreds of these cases, which generally I don't want to, because we are not trying to advertise. We are trying to sell the story of science. We are trying to sell the information, not for money. We are trying to sell. Why I use the word sell is because you are all brainwashed the other way around. So I have to sell you with the result of people getting well. There is no money involved here, but I still have to sell you the information because you are not willing to give up your whiskey, you are not willing to give up coffee, you are not ready to give up your omelette, you are not ready to give up your sandwiches. That's why I use the word sell. The sell is an economic word, but I want to convert that into an ecological word. So let's leave this economic model and try to embrace the ecological model. Because I always look at, how much water, how much soil is destroyed, how many honeybees are gone, how many birds are going away, how many animals are getting killed. This is my calculation. That is my economics. When I see a lot of people use this plastic water, that plastic water, nanoparticles are going, but I never use those. I always carry my water. When I see a tap, I go and hold my water. I don't want to use the plastic water because each liter that you are drinking, you are creating plastic which is found in whales' tummies. It is ending up there. And people are now counting whales on fingers, tips. Somewhere in the oceans. They have nothing to do with you, but you are killing them by choosing to drink water in this plastic. And the plastic companies are making money. Water is not theirs. Who drinks is not there. But the plastic is a waste produced in the diesel industry. They are converting it to money and environmental killing agents for millions of living things on this planet. And you are the agent. You are the killing agent. I am pointing the fingers to each and everyone who drinks water in the plastic bottles. You are the killing agent. Why am I saying you are killing yourself also? In fact, I have told this 30 years back, all plastic should never be used in any food or water, oil, pickle. Now we are using pickles in the plastic. Why the hell pickles? We are actually packaging Gomutra in plastic and then selling. Saying that Gomutra is good for you, package it in plastic bottles. Ayurveda medicines are packed in tons of plastic. And we all have a department which gives permission to pack the Ayurveda medicines in plastic bottles. Why? Yogasanas are done on plastic mats. It's a business. Yogasanas are done on plastic mats. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? You want to do yoga, so you have nothing, you can do it on stone or you can do it on the mud. If you don't like the soil, you take, go package and then do it once or twice, you can do. Why do you need plastic mats? But I see in the morning, our Mysore is so-called yoga center of the world.
Yeah.
You know that? Everyone early morning, you see, they have like Rama used to have the tambour, like that they have plastic thing, and running around all people. I don't want what this place is already. This is a plastic. Why do yoga? You sit on that, your own heat hits you, you will have piles and hemorrhoids. That's all you can get. So this is the problem with all of us. We are trying to create an economic model for every concept. But being natural and then trying to analyze things will lead you to. Till when I travel, I use this bottle. Night, I cut a piece of lemon and put it inside. Morning, I wash it. Again, fill it with water. Why should I wash? Because the copper accumulates even the nanoparticles onto its surface because of d electrons. There are free running electrons available, and the bandwidth of this d transition suits the energy bandwidth of many of these polar chemicals that we are using in water and everything. In fact, this stupid glyphosate which is used to grow the soybean, that's why I keep telling people don't touch soybean. This soybean is killing penguins in South Pole. The glyphosate is causing cancer to the penguins and you people are eating soybean because this doctor said it is protein, and blood cancer is on rise because of this. The reason glyphosate blocks hemoglobin synthesis, it's a defoliating agent. It blocks chlorophyll synthesis in the plants, it blocks. That is protoporphyrin, the same thing, hemoglobin. If you keep iron, you have blood. If you keep magnesium, you have green chlorophyll. You keep iron, you have red hemoglobin. Otherwise, it is one and the same. So, when it can block chlorophyll synthesis, do you think it cannot block your hemoglobin synthesis? But still, these doctors are not talking about it. These scientists are not talking. I keep telling you, the moment you utter soybean, please keep 1 mile away from it. You want protein, you eat rajma beans, no problem. But do it the way I told you, soak it. Soak it for 5-6 hours, wash it once or twice, and then you get good proteins without fighting acid. You can rajma beans, chana dal, tur dal, moong dal, all dals have proteins. Depending upon your local area, whichever you grow, you eat, no problem. In our south, we have what is called horse grain. It grows just like that. And that's very good, no problem. You sprout it and make nice heat, the steam, and then mix it with some 1 or 2 vegetables and make a roll and then give your kids. They will be very happy, very tasty. In fact, you don't need any spices for some of these dals. The dals themselves are tasty. You need only 1 spoon or 2 spoons, not more than that. So all these good things are even today available in India, and that is the reason why I came back actually. In America, all these things are not possible because they have taken away the rights of the farmers to grow anything, and FDA decides what to grow, what you need to grow. Sadly, the same thing is happening in our country. Slowly and steadily, our governments are making these stupid laws to suit these corporate food factories. They are taking away the freedom of the right farmer to grow what they want to grow. They decide, you grow here this, you grow here this district, one product, all these nice sounding terminologies, technical words they bring and then fool us, just like white revolution, green revolution, pink revolution, top. We don't need any revolutions. We need to revolve around trees and our millets and things. We don't need revolutions. We need to revolve around what we have in our immediate environment. And that's what gets you, and that's what this science is all about. I hope I have made many of the issues that you are thinking and you have doubts about, including how to cook, why I should not do this, why I should do this, why I should take bull-driven oils, why not the so-called cold press. Cold press is you are rotating, the RPM is beyond 18, then standard temperature and pressure. What if standard temperature and pressure increases? Why should I not take the oils? You see in groundnut, the top layer, that pinkish, that has got what is called resveratrol. That's a chemical which can protect you from aging. Antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-aging. What is anti-aging? What is anti-aging? It is to clean up your nerves, nerve centers, everyday metabolic waste, so that you can remember, you can function the way you used to function 5 years ago. Say, I have climbed my Chaundi, there is a Chaundi betta in our 1000 steps. In 1975, I climbed that in a matter of 29 minutes. Now the other day, I went and I climbed in 30 minutes. 1975, now 2020. That is me not aging. I am 65 now. I was 25 then, for 40 years, yeah. So, I climbed in 29 minutes, now I climbed in 30. And that is what is health is all about. That is what is health is all about. So, that is anti-aging. Now, if I were to drink this plastic water, plastic oil, plastic sweets, my nerve centers get toxicity which is not removed. So I have helped myself by eating millets and not eating milk and not drinking milk, keep my nerve centers clean, and that keeps functioning. I can move all my finger joints any way I want. And that's what God has given us. By not keeping toxic waste accumulated in my joints, I am able to do that. In fact, I keep doing this just to encourage you. This is the most important thing. Why? What happens when you sit like this is the peristaltic movement of all these bowels happens immediately. Even the gases that are stuck will go up. In fact, that's what it is. Apana vayu. So you sit like this for 3 minutes. People are not able to sit on the regular Western toilet for more than 5 minutes. This is the problem we have. So the cleaning takes place even at the 65. In fact, if I continue to do this, and if and when I live up to 100, I can still do this. But you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it. That is the training of the muscles, training of the nerves, training of the... And that's what makes you... And that health is done by this resveratrol kind of complexes that are available in our oils. And when you rotate this RPM high, just the bonds shift and it is no more anti-aging chemical. So the bull-driven oils are very important because the bull rotates 1 RPM or even half sometimes if it is a bigger bull honey. So the oils are not losing the so-called, it's not a nutrient actually, it's something chemical that helps you to detoxify, to clean. So the natural processes always help you. So these are the scientific reasons why we should not go for too many technology-based, see, oil expellers are there, they actually rendering, they heat for high temperatures oil comes out. And that is not the right way to do things. So naturally what we were doing, Ghani oils, chickpea flour, you know there are particular kinds of flour making. They have hydraulic balls rotating and you get powder. These things are not good for food preparation. So it takes time to make good food. It takes time to grow food. And you cannot say I have GM technology, I will do this, I will do that. But why do you grow things? To get healthy. But what are we doing? Our agricultural practices are creating sickness and we are going on and on and on without questioning. So I like people to ask questions. When you ask questions, it's not that they are going to change. You are going to change. You are going to change. And each one asks questions. When everyone changes themselves, then things do not require anything else from any side anywhere. And that is my objective. Single objective of my traveling relentlessly is to ask people to ask questions. Thank you very much.
Respected sir, we are extremely grateful for your enlightening talk and sincerely thank you for your glorious presence here today. Sir, we are extremely grateful for your enlightening talk and sincerely thank you for your gracious presence here today and making this Sunday afternoon so memorable for us.
I'm sure there's a lot of questions and I see a lot of hands already going on. So with your permission, there are some people who want to eat lunch, probably because they have some health conditions. So is it okay if some people can have lunch and we continue the... Is that okay, sir? I hope that's not disrespectful. Okay. So...
We are really motivated with this talk and I think we want to take that first step towards shifting to millet. So we have a full millet lunch arranged. I think I would request all the viewers who would want to start about taste the millet and take that first step towards a healthy living. Wherever we can keep asking questions wherever we have doubts. So thank you.
But we like the lunch to be a little quiet place, so because there's a lot of questions, I'm sure. So we can take a few questions, and then sir obviously also going to be with us for lunch, and we can have more interactions. And I believe. Right. So maybe sir, you can say I'm happy to facilitate the questions. Would you like to since it's been a long you're fine standing, great. So I think we have a few mics. Yes, please. If you can have some mics put it on. Okay.
Sir, what should be our routine from morning till evening for a healthy life? Like first thing in the morning, then breakfast and lunch.
No, there is nothing like that. I am very flexible. Generally, I don't want to miss my Surya. When that fellow keeps giving us appointment, we keep missing it. So, first thing is, I make sure I get up before sun comes up. So, I'm done with my toilet and other things. So, I go out, I go for long walks. Generally, I walk for 2 hours in a day. Minimum of 2 hours I walk. Then I come back and I start cooking my food. My wife and me together will cook food. Sometimes my wife joins me for walking. She's a lazy girl. She walks in the evening. Morning, she sleeps later than me. She talks to her brother, her sister on the phone. She takes time. She sleeps at 11:30. I go to sleep early. By 9:30, 10 I sleep, so I get up in the morning. So she sleeps late, gets up 1 or 2 hours late. So she walks in the evening. I am busy in the clinic, so I cannot go in the evening. So I walk in the morning. So I come back and we cook our millet food. We don't eat anything else. Fruits, rarely we eat. Sometime in the evening. I eat well in the morning. I make everything. We eat, we hog our food. We fight with each other and eat well, and that's it. Till next day morning, I don't think of food. And in between maybe a tumbler of ambali in the afternoon, and evening whatever is left in the morning we eat. Yeah, I eat very well once and don't think about food at all the whole day. That's convenient for me. I don't like to go on spending time on eating. And that is the problem with many of the diets. You eat fruits, after 2 hours again you want to eat something. You keep looking for something else. You eat millets once, eat paratha, chapati, idli, or whatever you want to make and eat. And you are not hungry till late in the evening. So that I can do other things. Very simple. And I tell everyone, please eat in the morning. The first thing is before 9 p.m. Eat well. Then forget about food. And you will not think of food at all. Actually for me, the thought of food doesn't come till late in the evening. Very late in the evening. In fact, I am robbed of that luxury because I have patience to sleep till 8 to 8:30, sometimes 9. So I forget about food once I eat in the morning. So when I come from my walk, I really eat. I eat 10 idlis.
Should we take 2-3 questions? Maybe we can take 2-3 questions. I think there's a lot of hands up. So we can collect 2-3 questions.
Eat once, you will be happy.
Sir, how much water should we drink after eating millets so that it's digested properly?
Yeah. Generally, I go for walking, I come back. And I want a lot of water. I don't know how much water I drink, maybe it's 2 liters. I have no count. But it takes a lot of water when you walk for 2 hours and come back. So after around evening also I drink a lot of water. So I don't count how much and how that. So whenever my body requires, I just drink. And when you walk 1 or 2 hours, the body wants a lot of water and you drink a lot.
Sir, I was following this millet diet and I had some itching problem. So where I was going wrong, or should we also consume the millet atta as it is? I got it from your center only.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No, you had a skin problem before?
No, this issue was not earlier. After consuming millet for say 2-3 months on millet diet, I had some itching issues. I was a little confused.
No. Most of the time when you start on millet diet, lot of toxic things start getting out of the body. So for 6 weeks to 6 months, you might have not noticed the earlier period of your life. Small things, they will actually resurface and you will be alright.
And what about atta, sir? Atta. Millet atta.
Millet atta you can soak for 2 hours and make your chapatis.
Oh, soak for 2 hours.
I don't think the people who sell you atta are soaking and then making atta. Because if they do, it goes bad, no?
No, I got it from your place only.
No, I don't know my place, I have no shop. But whoever sells atta will not soak and dry. Because if they soak and dry, they cannot sell for longer period. Right. Shelf life is reduced.
Let's take everyone's questions and then... Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. My wife and I were using the 5 positive millets that you say for the last 45 days. In the last 45 days, we have not seen much of a difference in our health system or something.
45 days. Yes. Yeah, you need minimum of 6 months. minimum to satisfy.
But I have two main questions. Like when you say that rice was introduced, or wheat was introduced about, let's say, 150 years or 100 years back. So when you say about the lifespan of human beings, say the Rajput period or whatever, it was just about 35-40 years. The lifespan of the human beings has increased in the last 100 years. Be it Japan, developed world or whatever. So what explains that the lifespan has actually increased rather than, when we were eating nice, there was no pollution. Still we were living 940 years.
Now there are two issues here in your question. One, that people were living for 35 years. They are taking it for granted. Second, is that we are living more now because of protecting from natural elements. So there are many natural elements that were killing people, like falling into the pit, animals coming, snake bites, this bites, that bites, because we were not protected from the elements. In fact, the single reason why you see the increase in the lifespan is protecting from the natural elements. The averages are calculated by overall. So in fact, millions of people are dying. So the average lifespan has come down. But then, if you go to a tribal area, there are people who have lived 120 years. Very healthy. And those are the fellows who have done these things right. So you are comparing apples and oranges. And your question is actually a brainwashed question, which all the so-called scientific world keeps asking. So you have not analyzed your question. One, you are comparing apples and oranges. This is a very important question because everyone comes up with the same question. Lifespan. This lifespan business is a hoodwinking question. Now come with me to my western Ghats. I will show you a tribal group whose lifespan is minimum 100 years, even today. So have you keyed this pattern in your question? No, you are not. So the question is falsified according to me, and the corporate world has put up this question. So that is the real answer for me. But I will go one step ahead and say, anyone who follows natural food processes, even a sick fellow, becomes healthy over a period of 6 months to 2 years. Why do I say 2 years? Because neurons and nephrons are taking 7 years to replenish, to become healthy. That's why even if you have a small disease which is connected with neurons, will take long period. And kidney and neurons, without that, our system doesn't exist. That's why I keep telling any disease, even if it's small disease, requires 6 months to do.
The second question is, good afternoon, sir. My question is slightly little away from the millet. It's about the method of cooking. What is your take on the mixing, pulverizing, high-speed motors, and also second, about pressure cookers?
Answer is no. No, sir. I want kitchen. I want two things in the kitchen.
Thank you.
सर मिलेट्स को प्रीसोक करके हम स्टोर कर सकते हैं क्या? मिलेट्स को प्रीसोक करके 6 to 8 hours, जैसे के लिए मैंने उसको सोक नहीं किया. सपोज 1 kg मिलेट मैंने प्रीसोक कर लिया 6 to 8 hours के लिए, फिर मैं उसको प्रिजर्व कर सकती हूँ सन ड्राई करके.
Yeah, but again it gets dried after a long period. Again you have to soak. If you use it immediately within a week, then you don't need to soak for against the 8 hours.
Right.
So half an hour soaking will do.
Okay. I can store about 1 kg of millet for 1 month or say.
Yeah, if you are storing in the refrigerator, you can store for a week or 10 days.
But sir, जब मैं प्रीसोक करती हूँ मिलेट को 6 to 8 hours, अब मैं उसका जब फ्लावर बनाती हूँ घर पे मिक्सी में ही, नॉर्मल मिक्सी में, तो वो तो वाटर मुझे तो फेंकना होता है ना प्रीसोक किया हुआ, तो उसका सारा न्यूट्रिशन खत्म हो जाता है.
Don't throw. We have all the information in many. Dr. Khadar lifestyle, the Facebook is there. All the questions people have been asking for 20 years have been answered. So I personally think there is no question that we can come up with. There's not an answer in that lifestyle.
मेरी daughter मैसूर में पढ़ती है. मेरी daughter मैसूर में पढ़ती है. She wants to meet you, sir. In मैसूर. Where?
TK layout.
Huh?
TK layout. My address is also there in the net.
Okay. Thank you.
It's TK layout.
Wait. No, आपका path committee is good enough for your coming. No. Tea has got caffeine. Don't take. No, the decoctions are there.
There are some very specific questions, like someone's father has liver cirrhosis, CKD, someone mentioned about liver. So how do we address that? And there are many of these questions.
Liver hemangioma, every disease condition is found in these protocols. 108 disease conditions are there. You just have to browse through and find your problem. You have to keep eating that only. As many number of times you want. No. Follow the process. Read it. Here it is very clear. No, it doesn't matter. You eat millets. That's it. And he is fermented for it. Any number of times, see the problem is simple because you have eaten 5 times. You want to eat 5 times, you eat 5 times. After 4 to 5 weeks, you eat only once in the morning and then you stop forgetting about food because the millets make you feel like.
So now I'm feeling a bodyguard because there's a big group that's following.
I don't need worry.
So a lot of people want to know where do we get millets, how on these questions. So how many other cities where you've gone, these groups that have come together, maybe a group like this in Kolkata can come together and more information can be achieved. Any guidance on that?
Basically, you all need millets. Simple as this, that catch hold of few farmers and I will give you the seeds. They will go to supply you. But I don't believe that Karnataka supplies millets to the whole world. Because you can grow them anywhere in the world. So, it is you who consume. Decide the farmers. So, you all can get together and reach out to your farmers group. Tell them they will grow. You will supply the seeds and the information so that you become self-sufficient. You don't need to keep getting things from Karnataka.
This is my group, sir. This is Amnay Life. So, who knows Rajiv? And she is in the group and we must invite sir again once. And this is first to come yes,
तो इनसे आपको मिलेट्स रेगुलर में मिल जाएगा. One thing I want to clarify, these protocols
give up their coffee, they say they are following their protocol. They don't give up their neck, they say they are following their protocol. They do everything that is there in the protocol. But apart from that, they also smoke sometimes, they also have water sometimes. So those things have to be out of, because they are the real problem. They are the cause of the disease. So you have to remove the root cause. You cannot keep doing the same mistake again and again.
I would also look at Meghna ji here. She's taking some real cooking workshops. So whoever is interested in that, Meghna ji is right there. Meghna ji is right there. She's also taking some real cooking workshops in Kolkata.